My name is Matthew Wollin. I'm a fourth year student in the Entrepreneurial Leadership program. I went on exchange during my second year to the University of Regensburg in Regensburg, Germany. A food that I didn't enjoy was some of the home-cooked meals that I made. I was living away for the first time, so moved away from home, and I didn't really have to cook for myself, so this was a big challenge for me. And especially you go into a grocery store and it's totally unfamiliar. You have no idea where the spices are, where the vegetables are, where the meat are, all these things that you take for granted here. You have no clue where it is, so you're scrounging around trying to find whatever you can. And the first couple of weeks I made some of the worst meals of my life because I just had no idea what to buy or how much weight of this to get, or everything's totally different. So I really had to make do, and I remember one time I tried to make a curry dish, and I don't know what I was thinking, but it had way too much oil, way too much onions in there, and I remember tasting it and being like, this is the worst thing I've ever tasted. So I ended up going and getting food that night, but it's definitely a challenge, and I ended up, by the end of my experience, I learned to love going into different grocery stores and seeing, what's the different things, what do they have, what's unique about this place. But at the beginning it was a huge challenge because I had to figure out what to buy or where to get rice, where to get oatmeal. You don't know where it is, so, or you don't know how to ask where it is, and that was a challenge. One food that I really loved was these cinnamon roll towers that they have in Hungary and in the Czech Republic. It's something I'd never seen before, and I remember walking down the street and I look over and there's this like fire roaster grill with these skewers that have dough with cinnamon and sugar on top, and I'm like, that's okay, this looks like a reasonable decision to make. So you spend your €3 or whatever it is and you get one of these rolls, and it was just so unbelievable. I ended up getting a second one and feeling so sick after, regretting it, but just the most amazing taste. It's kind of like a beaver tail of Europe, and yeah, it's these kind of unique things that you see and you're like, I have never seen anything like this before, but it's coated in sugar and it looks great, so you end up buying it, and it's really good. I have no clue what they're called. I remember asking the lady, and this was in Budapest. I remember asking the lady, I was like, how do I pronounce this name? How do I pronounce what this roll is called? And she says the name, and I was just like, nope. I'm not even gonna try. Like, there's just no way I'm ever gonna be able to say this. So fortunately I don't know what the name is, but they're delicious. You'll know them if you see it. Something that I tried for the first time in Europe was the different kind of sausages that they have in Germany, and Germany is just super famous for their sausages. But you go into the grocery store and they look totally different than anything we're used to. So I remember going to the counter and trying to like point at and trying to make discussion, and they don't know what you're trying to say and you don't know what they're saying, so you have no idea what type of meat you're buying. You don't know if it's chicken or if it's pork, or you have no idea what's inside, but you just get what you can and you go with it. So I'm with my friend and we buy these sausages, and she grabs the wrong ones, but we're like, okay, we won't worry about it. We get home and they're these short little stubby sausages, the weirdest things we've ever seen. And we're like, what did we just buy? We've got no idea what this is, but they ended up being really good. So that was a fun experience, just because you come home and you're like looking at what you just bought and you're like, I do not know what this is or what's inside, but you just go for it and hope for the best, and usually it works out. Food that I really miss is the ice cream that they had in Germany, and everywhere they call ice cream ice, so it's just EIS, and you see these little signs everywhere. It's all in the streets, they're selling it at every couple blocks, but there was this one in particular that all the locals loved, and it was kind of the famous place to go, and they just had the most amazing ice cream, and that's the place you went, and I miss that place dearly because the ice cream was just too good. It's too good to be true, so I would love to go back and just have a scoop of that ice cream.
What flavors?
They rotated their flavors on a regular basis, so every time you went, you had no clue what the flavors would be, and that was kind of the excitement to it, because you show up and you have, oh, I had this flavor last week, it was so good, and then you show up and it's like totally new flavor and it was also really good, so you just want to keep going back and trying all the flavors.
Do you have a favorite?
I don't remember what, but the thing is, all the name tags are in German, so for me, I knew a bit of German, so I could kind of pick out certain things, but you kind of just say, yeah, I'll take that one, and you don't worry too much about it because you know they're going to be good. One food, well, this is a beverage, but one beverage that I couldn't get enough of, or I wish that I could have here, is the German beer. It was so cheap and it was so good, and you would go to the store and they would sell their beer below the grocery store, and you'd get it in a crate. So you'd buy a full crate of beer and it would be like $5 for like 16 good beers, so way cheaper than we can ever buy here. But you get this good beer, it would be cheap, comes in the bottle, and it's just not comparable here. So I really didn't have a passion for beer. I wasn't like a beer junkie over here, but when you go there, you have so much options, and like you almost can't buy a bad beer. So I really miss having that, and having it, being able to drink in public. That was the nicest thing. Like you go to the parks, or you're at the beach, you're out with your buddies in the street and you're having a beer, or you meet a friend at the SkyTrain, or you meet a friend at this train station and you say, hey, welcome to Germany, here's a beer. And it's these kind of moments that just make it so unique and so special, and you really enjoy that experience.